Good morning. Hit that thumbs up button. I am going to turn on Do Not Disturb. And I am going to, I've got to go to what I typically do. By the way, if you're here, subscribe. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up. I'm going to say that too when I get to like 30 viewers. But, hey, Jesse. There's no guys. I think it's Guy. How you doing, man? I actually, I think I posted on Twitter or something when I found out that somebody in Maine won the lottery, and I thought it might be you since we haven't seen you. So did you win the lottery? Because if you did, man, we got a lot of things to talk about for that investment. I don't know. Why are you crying? Hold on, my dog's crying. Move to trash. Why are you crying? I don't understand. I know. Hold on. I'll pick you up. I got that. I need to. What? Okay, I'll hug you. There you go. Okay, now you can go. Okay, Penny, come here. Now, why did you bring this blanket in here? Come on. Do you want to sit in here? Hold on. Okay, if you want to sit in here. Here. Hey. No. Come on. I'll put this down here for you, okay? Go on. There you go. Good girl. Go on, Penny. Oh, man. Both dogs wanted to sit in here, so I had to put that down. Oh, Zevin. You held on over the weekend, too. Man. I ain't mad at you, Zephin. I gave lessons yesterday. I mean, look at Bed Bath & Beyond. Are you out now, or are you still in? I'm telling you, it doesn't take a lot to determine cell signals and to try and find stuff. Oh, that's my dishwasher. I was wondering what the hell. Still in, so let's see. I have it up on Active Trader Pro. Let's do a 2-day. Let me pull it back so I can actually see what. I mean, from a 2-day perspective, yesterday and today, you still have this volume shelf up here at 438. That might be a magnet at open, because it hasn't really broken down. It broke down yesterday afternoon, but it from what I can tell, and you never can tell with these things. I mean, honestly, you can't. The news today is that Bed Bath & Beyond is looking to sell. They should have sold their baby business a long time ago. But they're looking to sell, and supposedly they have some buyers. Now, that's not necessarily great for the short squeeze, but it might be good news for the stock, because the second you get news about that stuff, a stock will usually take off. This is one, if you were telling me that you were still in, I'd have said, what are you, fucking crazy? I got out of that one at the right time. I mean, I was probably one day too late on that one. Too early. But I'd rather be too early than too late. And it's kind of like I tell you guys all the time is don't be afraid to take profits, man. You can always buy back in. When you're up that much, Zephin, I mean, don't get greedy. And it's again, you have to journal these things. And one of the things that I was telling, it was a lesson that I was teaching yesterday. I kind of have 4 lessons that I teach just people, friends and stuff, and I don't teach on a regular basis. But this is my friend and his son. And so my friend is my age and his son is, just starting college. So it's kind of 2 different target groups, if you will. Because his son can take, like you, Zephin, you can buy a ton of risky stuff. I still want you to have 80% of your portfolio in a, pretty solid, either companies, ETFs, something you don't touch. But Bed Bath & Beyond, I mean, say you have $1,000, and this is what I told Chad and Jack last night is, if you have $1,000, I mean, 200 of that you could play with. So that's kind of what I do in my Webull. I mean, I have $1,000, and I think I have $800 in cash. I'm just super right now. The market's not telling me anything. I mean, here, I'll look at SPY before I start. I mean, I'm gonna do it on the podcast anyway, but SPY, it broke down. Look. I mean, the S&P broke down and the MACD's crossing down. Where do you think this thing's going? You got your Fed meeting coming up in literally 2 weeks. You've got, the Fed people are going to shut their mouth. I think you kind of get down here towards the probably between 380 and 375. I would say that's probably a good point to get to. I don't think you come down here just yet to this 360. But, I mean, why do you think that, we had this candle yesterday morning at 9:30? I mean, it was clear the afternoon, where you're going in the afternoon. Again, look at the morning volume versus the afternoon. And if we look at a daily, it's probably just starting to cross. Yeah, see? We closed at 391. So you're just under the 9-day. You're under the 200-day. I mean, it's clear. Let's draw a line here. Let's draw a channel. So here, 1, 2, 3. We've got 3 there. We've got 1 probably right there. Hold on one second. I gotta go blow my nose. Oh. Sorry. There's where you're at. So the top bar I drew was here at August 15th, which was a high. And then you touched here in November. And then you touched here yesterday. This is just a SPY daily. And then the bottom part, you want to touch 3 points. It doesn't have to be 3 bottom points, but it's just kind of a channel. But where do you think we're going to go? I mean, we're still on a downward trend. And you can see, if I remove this, that 200-day, it's providing a resistance level. I mean, we haven't been above that 200-day since March of last year. So, morning, Justin. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out where this market is necessarily going. Doesn't mean that you don't buy in for long term. Doesn't mean that you don't trade. Like Roblox is down 6% in pre-market. I mean, shit. Doesn't take a genius to figure out you should have taken some profits on that one. I was screaming I should have gotten in. I'll have my chance to get it under 30 again. Still hasn't broken trend, but that 200-day is just once it breaks that 200-day, if it doesn't hold it, get the F out. I'm telling you, get the F out of that one. So, but yeah, I'll go over all that. Let's say Netflix earnings. By one of an oldie but a goodie. Earnings. Let's see. Password crackdown. It was ad tier. And sub growth. Those are the three things that Netflix is going to be looking at. Yeah, we're going to get hit pretty hard today. I would expect us to, on a SPY, if I'm just looking at SPY, and I look at SPY more than I look at Dow, more than I look at NASDAQ. We can look at the triple Qs. They're kind of all in the same thing. But you're just touching that 21-day on a daily. The Bollinger Bands are super wide open. I mean, you could see right here around January 3rd, the beginning of the year, Bollinger Bands were synced up. It had to go up or down. And essentially, you could have flattened out here, but it had to go up and down. It broke the 200-day. It's going to come down to the 200-day at 386. You'll see it. Okay. And I haven't signed up for... Oh, good news, by the way. If anybody wants to sign up for Fidelity, I got my gift card. I have to check with, I think it was Cooper who sent me his stuff. And I have to check with him if he got his gift card. I got mine in the mail yesterday. So thank you, Fidelity. And I think Dawson or somebody else sent me their email, and I just haven't sent it over. Because, rule number 3, I'm lazy. Rule number 1, don't listen to douche on the internet when you're buying stocks. Rule number 2, don't listen to Jim Cramer. And rule number 3, don't listen to a guy on the internet. Let me see. I was going to go to Twitter because last night was crazy. And I want to point this out. That's the clown move. That's when we've reached peak. When Kramer is in a ref's outfit and carrying a football. Clowning it up means it's the end of the rally. Complete end of the rally. So just figured I'd bring that up. I did hear from Trendspider, and I will be doing a session with those guys. VRO, man, I'll take a look at that. But that sounds like one that's going to bankrupt you. I don't think we're going to get a lot of scans from yesterday, just looking at SPY. Oh, and energy. This is a daily thing where all of a sudden China opens up and then, oil goes up and your energy stocks go up. Oh, and then we have a recession coming. Oil goes down. So today oil's down. Energy stocks are down. I did see online, and this is what's dangerous. And I want to bring it up because I think somebody got into Bank of America. But I did see online on Twitter, there were quite a few people in Bank of America branches that said they were missing money. So I don't know if this is going to blow up into a story, but it made it into my feed. NRSN, let's see, what is NRSN? Let me bite. It's not making money. The last news story was on December 1st. It's a biopharma, and it's at $1.26. And let me go over to Active Trader Pro so I can see what you're actually trading. It's NRSN. Let's see what you're actually trading. Yeah, it's ripping. It's outside the Bollinger Bands. Some type of retail. Therapeutics Neuroscience reports positive final results from Alzheimer's biomarker study. Phase 2 double-blind proof of concept clinical study expected to commence in H1 2023. So it's a Reuters news article on Alzheimer's. Yeah, Pentagon had what, $1.3 trillion or something missing. Yeah, and that $20 income that I didn't report to the IRS, yeah, they're worried about that one. I've seen that meme going around. This one's ripping based on just news story. I mean, it essentially doubled. I mean, it's crazy that it doubled, but yeah, NRSN. You might be able, I mean, I can see on the right-hand side that this one's already coming back down. I think if you could get it at $2, you could probably sell it for $3. I think it would have hit $3 today. I mean, look at the volume. So far, you've traded 3 million shares in pre-market. This is a stock that typically trades 16,000. Let's see what their float is. Outstanding shares, it's 11 million shares. The float is 6.8 million shares. And I know somebody's going to ask this, so I'm going to go to investopedia.com. What is float? Float is essentially double counted money. The number of shares shorted. Company's float. Float is the regular shares that a company has issued to the public that are available to invest. So this one has essentially 11 million shares. Half of them are out float to the public. And you've already traded 3 million shares. So you've traded in pre-market 50% of the share volume. Yeah, somebody was going to ask float. So I asked what float is. And just like I tell everybody, you know, yeah, the $50 you made on FTX, they're going to come after it. You know, I'm less interested in this one. I think you will have a chance to buy if you bought at $250, my guess is you're going to $3. I mean, in pre-market, if you've already traded this volume, I think you've got enough volume to drive this thing to $3. Alzheimer's is just a buzzword, and it's kind of crazy. But I'm much more apt to try a bankrupt company. I mean, here, you've traded 1.8 million in pre-market on Bed Bath & Beyond. Just to give you a sense of how big NRSN and Alzheimer is. It's 3.4 million shares traded in pre-market. You know, your 10-day volume is 16. By the way, you're all the way down at 249. It's kind of that candle isn't right. There's no way that candle is right. This candle, it says it traded open. The low was 126. No way it traded at 126. That's a bad candle. It hasn't traded at 126. Let's change to Bed Bath & Beyond. We'll go back to NRSN. ChatGPT. Yeah, see, it was just a bad candle. It went down to the open at the close at 126, but this one actually traded between 240 and 268. And now you got a new candle right here at 253. If this one touches above 270, this candle right here, I think you're off to the races. Let me do my scans, and then I'll keep an eye on that one. But VRO, man, go to Vegas. You have better odds in Vegas. I don't know that you have better odds in Vegas, but you're definitely chasing that one. I'm going over here because I don't want to promote gambling. and VRO, man, you're going to get me into gambling again. People already got me into Bed Bath & Beyond and Mara last week. Cleveland Cliffs, by the way, is having a good pullback. If you haven't noticed, tqqq is under 20 again. And Trendspider last night, let me go to YouTube. They put out a new video for how much did YouTube pay me in 2022. Ooh, she just put out, yeah. We can look at how much she paid. Trendspider here. They put a new upgrade to the strategy tester. This is, and I'm going to post this.
Hey, everybody.
Just so everyone knows, the strategy tester is where I have my algorithm. I'm going to pin this. We're going to pin that. Pin. And so it's up top there if you miss it. Strategy tester is where I have my algorithm, and essentially you can see this is the strategy tester right here. So if you haven't signed up for Trendspider, or if you're interested in Trendspider, there's a link down below. Use my code DSP25, you'll get 25% off. But it's basically, you can take any indicator that you want, and Dan, who's the CEO of Trendspider, he kind of puts in Deorden. I forget what his thing is, but this is a pretty common. I mean, his algorithm right here on a 30-minute chart. If you want to day trade, it's a great algorithm. Ichiban clouds you can use. I've used that in algorithms before to day trade. Ichiban clouds kind of go green or red depending on the trend, and it just identifies the trend for you. It's a great one. You can create your own algorithm. My algorithm is based on a 4-hour candle, so it's not great on day trading, but it is good on swing trades. We don't have anything in the brokerage holdings. Let me go to Vanguard ETFs. But this video is fantastic. It kind of gives you an idea of what the strategy tester within Trendspider can do. And he shows you kind of some of their updates. I do not show this portion in my online stuff just because, if you sign up for Trendspider, if you don't have Trendspider, it doesn't make sense to promote my algorithm. If you sign up for Trendspider and you sign up with the code DSP25, I give you access to my algorithm. I give you access to my core portfolio list. I give you access to my scanner as well. And I'm going to come up with other stuff, other stuff that I'll share with you as well. But anybody that I think has signed up for Trendspider has been pretty happy. It's a really good program. I mean, it definitely takes you from what are we looking for as far as stocks go? If you're listening to a douche on the internet like me, you're probably not doing stocks right. You're just not. I mean, you can think you understand charts and think you understand that stuff, and we're all just kind of guessing because nobody knows where the market's going, but everybody's just guessing. What Trendspider allowed me to do, and I'm just speaking from personal experience, is it allowed me to take emotion out of the trade. So But if you're not trading a lot, do not sign up for Trendspider. If you're just kind of investing, just kind of hanging out, and you're looking for momentum trades, Trendspider might not be the best tool for you. I don't find it helpful in day trading. What I find helpful in day trading is Active Trader Pro. Active Trader Pro just seems to be better at day trading for me. And this candle did not close above 270. So I think we're evening out here at about 250. I think you're putting in that kind of... At 250, people who held this last night, they doubled their freaking money. So I think that's where it's kind of hanging out for now. It definitely got a pop on the news, but any reaction in the market is an overreaction. So nothing in that. Let's look at ARK funds. And I'll be doing a session with a learning session. I'll be taping it with Trendspider. TBLA, Taboola. Ooh, that's a nice chart. Oh my God, it's already run up. Oh, but that's a nice chart. What does Taboola do, TBLA? This is an ARK investment, and I will tell you it's not making money. Forward PE, though, is 13. Book value is $3, and it's at $3.47. Let's see. They are artificial intelligence-based algorithmic engine platform in Israel, the United Kingdom, the United States, Germany, a platform that partners with websites, devices, and mobile apps to recommend editorial content and advertisements on open web. So it's an advertising platform, essentially. August, they downgraded overweight to, and in May, Susquehanna moved it from 10 to 350. It's trading at 350. 52-week range, $1.52 to $7.50. That $1.52 investment looks genius. Maybe Kathy Woods put a bunch of money in here. What worries me is this gap straddles the 200-day. Let me pull back to here. Oh, God. And that gap... I mean, it's clear you had people buying and selling here in September before this gap was created, but everybody who bought here has sold out here. And most likely, they sold probably up here because you still have people who are holding on down here. Putting in a pretty good platform up here at $2.70. This might be one to look at. I'm going to put it on my to watch list. TBLA. We'll put it in the scans because I don't think we're going to come up with a lot of scans today. So I'll put it in there. That's the only one that came up with ARCs. And ARCs usually get me, God, a ton. Doesn't matter what day it is. Bro. Let me grab my vape. Hold on, I'm taking off my shirt. Bro. Okay, since there's 19 people in here right now, I want every one of you to hit that thumbs up button. I want every one of you to hit the subscribe button. There's a lot of people who aren't subscribed who tune in every day. And I've noticed that I need to get to 1,000 subscribers. So I will vape. I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to vape. I will have my blueberry yogurt. I'm sorry, I don't even drink yogurt because I try and reduce my dairy. But I will have my blueberry oatmeal with almond milk. Yeah, I'm that guy. Hold on, call me Chad. I am that douche. I am the douche who drives a Tesla, eats blueberry yogurt with almond milk in it, and then starts screaming about how the market is rigged. I'm that guy. Hold on. Let me get my Bitcoin. Yeah. Of course you did, Mike. Mike, what are you having for breakfast? Let's hear the diet of a champion. I think you got legendary status one time. I think you did for some trade that you did. Live walk with the dogs. Maybe I'll do a live walk with the dogs. Kyle. I was just telling a friend, I said, yeah, my name's Chad. I play lacrosse. I went to private school. I do have to say, and in all honesty, I live in a fairly upscale. I would consider it upscale. I think a lot of people would consider it upscale. It's not crazy. I mean, the houses. There's a couple that are close to $1 million, so it's definitely upscale, I would say. But for Atlanta, it's not crazy upscale. It's just kind of upscale. But not one of the children on this street goes to public school, and it's the first neighborhood I've ever lived in where not one of the kids goes to public school. So tell you ran nothing. Oh, you know what I want to look up? I did want to look up Wolf Research Alpha List. Stocks. I have to say stocks. There we go. Reveals its short stock screen of all time. That's 2022. I want to look up news. Wolf Research put out a list of stocks. Let's see, Wolf Research. I think they've got it behind you have to pay for it kind of thing. Research. I think I'm going to have to pay for it, but I ain't going to pay for it. No, I guess not. Boston Properties, Kilroy, Health Peak, Northern Trust. Am I at the bottom? Did I just freeze? Oh, connection lost. There it is. Okay. My trackpad lost connection. How did that happen? Trackpad's at 77. Keyboard's at 96. RVs, takeaways from the Tampa show. Kinder Morgan. Charles Schwab 3M model. There are places you can buy. God, I got to look it up on my. So I'm part of, and I tell you guys this sometimes, but I'm part of this high net worth group called Long Angle. And Long Angle, some of the investors in there, I mean, it's crazy what I hear in there. But part of Long Angle, there's places where you can, like current employees who have stock grants from SpaceX, who want to remodel their house, may put up some of those stock grants so you can buy it off the public. It's a private market. Let me see. Buy SpaceX stock. Secondary market. I think that's what it is. FinMasters, Wall Street, Equity Zen. I think this is where, like Equity Zen, I think you can buy stuff. There's a bunch of places where you can buy it, I think. You want to join Long Angle? Dude, you're trading NRSN and you want to join Long Angle? You can't join. It's a private, kind of invite-only group. And you have to have a significant net worth. And prove it, I should say. So it's not like, hey, I'm Gary's friend, and I listen to his podcast, and I want to join Long Angle. You have to prove your net worth, and have several interviews to join. So, I wish I could tell you that, it's easy to join. I don't. It's a free group, and I get a lot out of it, I will tell you. There is a person who's one of the analysts for ARK, who that just reminds me I need to message him. He and I are going to talk. He's an investor, and he does a lot of Chad's friend that plays lacrosse with him. But yeah, he and I need to talk. Did it cover that gap? It almost did. Let me see. 138.61. It didn't cover the gap at 140. Apple's getting the button hook. Amazon's getting the button hook. Bank of America is getting the button hook. Cleveland Cliffs is getting the button hook. Well, not really. I mean, Cleveland Cliffs. I think it'll come down below 20. So, okay, the only one is TBLA. I'm going to do the podcast now, so I'm probably going to ignore you guys. This one, remember how I said if it didn't get above 270, we might see it slip? Yeah, you're at 218. Any reaction in the market is an overreaction. It's coming inside the Bollinger Bands. Those Bollinger Bands are coming in. I do think with that news, they just put in their 6K. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's a copy of a press release. DNA binding. Okay. I need Dr. Tom for this one. I ain't even going to look at it. I don't understand that stuff. I guarantee you half the people here don't understand that stuff either, but let's go back to here. Costco 477. Remember how I said Costco would come back? I think it's going to come back to cover this gap between 453 and 461. The problem you're going to have if you're waiting for Costco like me is running up against this earnings kind of wall. Their next earnings date looks like it's probably in March. I mean, they had December here. If they announce between here and March that there's a membership increase, this is all of a sudden going to be a $500 stock again. So, UNH, by the way, is below where I bought it. It's at 476. I might be adding to this one, but I'm not adding to it. It got you out yesterday. I need to bring this up. We'll look at the core portfolio. I'll look at all the stocks. UNH. I did find SDOW, SQQQ, SOXS. Those are the three shorts that I want to look at. And I think it's SPXU. I have to look. Hold on one second. I have to look at all my. There's the podcast. I may have deleted the old one. No, here it is. Let me go down. I should search, but I know I have it down here somewhere. Yeah, Brandon, just send me the email address before you do it, and I'll send it over to Stuart, my guy. And I think it's $100. I think that's what it is. There's no formal process. Fidelity is so big that, Stuart was like, there's no formal process. I'm just going to send you gift cards. So I got my gift card in the mail, and that was the first one I got. So, and I think there were three people that did it. So I got a good one. Button hook is what I call it, VRO. Let me just look up this real quick about the yeah, here we go. This is what I want. All my bulls and bears and energy. I'm gonna pull this. I'm putting this in my podcast. Boom, boom. Where is this? Okay, there we go. There we go. SPXU. Button hook. Okay, so what's a button hook? Let's take a look. We'll look at Snowflake's a good one. Snowflake has a bunch of them. They're not pronounced. Target probably has some good ones. Yeah, Target has some good ones here. So when I talk about button hooks, there's a button hook on the bottom. And think of just a hook, kind of almost like a fish hook on the bottom, or, I don't know, a cane on the top, the top of a cane. They're both kind of shaped the same. It's just which direction you're talking about. So see here how these candles kind of create the fish hook. And you could tell here, once you got above that 9-day, that you had some confirmation. That's what I talk about a button hook. It's clear that it's hooking. Your RSI is down. Your MACD is down here. And it's clear that it's hooking. Now, when I'm talking about the button hook at the top, it's hard to time the button hook at the top. And specifically here, there's no kind of, okay, it's long and drawn out. This is a perfect example of a long drawn out kind of button hook like we talk about, where you can grab 10% off of this. This is Target, 143 on December 27th. Great price to get in at. I said anything under 150, I think you're good at. Anything under 160, I still think you're good at because there's a ton of gaps to fill up here. You got this gap right here at 177. At 143, you're doing fantastic if you get to 177. So you want to look at that button hook on the bottom, along with other indicators and moving averages in order to determine, because I'm not sure that this is a button hook at the top, but I can almost guarantee you that now that it's touching the 9-day, if I'm in at 143, I'm kind of looking to sell at 160 if this is a trade. If it's a long-term investment, I don't fucking care about these button hook things. But yeah, button hooks are important, and it's my term. I don't think anybody else uses it, but it's my term. And so when I say there's a button hook there, and I see a button hook creating right here, and you can see UNH, we had a button hook right kind of here, but you really got faked out. It never really closed above that 9-day. It's kind of been holding on to that 9-day. And the Bollinger Bands are cinching in. So in my mind, I'm thinking we're going lower. You might go down to 450. I'm holding at 485. I'm not selling, but I'm not buying in either. But because this MACD is so low, because the RSI is at 25, I kind of think like we're going to go up at some point in time, but I'm not timing it. Patience, patience, patience. VRO, here's the deal on energy, and we'll look at the XLE just to kind of tell you. You're not in a bear market because let's take it from a 4-hour and we'll go to a weekly. That's not a bear market in energy. You're looking too short time frame. Remember, the war in Ukraine started here when XLE was at about 65. You're at 87. That's not a bear market. That's a bull market, specifically in the energy sector, which if we go to a monthly, take a look at where the energy sector has its support. It's way back here at about 50 or 60. So you topped out here in 2014. You topped out here in 2008. And all it did was go down from there. So you're at the peak of what could be the peak of the market. Now, here's why I don't think, look at that MACD on this one. Look at the RSI on this. You're not in a bear market for energy. The problem that you have is when you zoom in and you look at a daily on this one. And this only goes back to January 2022 of last year. You're still above that 200-day. You're still kind of above the 9-day. And you've got some gaps that have all been filled other than the one down here. And so you're not necessarily in a bear market, but what you're in is a price-demand struggle. The market always looks at the future. The future of the market is always priced in. If we go to a recession, oil prices come down significantly. Governments want the oil price at 60. OPEC wants the price at 100. So you kind of find the middle spot. Remember, Biden and his administration has said, we won't fill the emergency reserves until we get down to $60 to $65 per barrel. And they're not refilling those reserves. So it's clear where they want the price of oil to go. It's also clear where the OPEC wants it to go. So you're in this price supply demand kind of middle, and it's being government manipulated. So you keep getting these little bull runs here because China says, "Ooh, we're going to open up." And here's the thing. Make no mistake. China is buying oil from Russia. It's being sent down from Russia. The only country that's doing it is China. If China opens up, Russian oil just isn't enough. They have to buy more on the open market. So supply is limited. OPEC wants to cut their supply to drive the price up. The United States, Biden doesn't want to expand drilling in order to increase supply. But we're producing as much as we were in 2019. So you've got this kind of struggle. So I wouldn't say that we're in a bear market with energy or with oil. I would say we're in a pretty good bull market. There's also, I've got this clean energy, QCLN, which is clean energy NASDAQ, which you can see. If you want to see a bear market, man, let's take a look at this one. We'll take a look at a weekly on this one. Look at that coming down. That's a downward trend on the 50-day, meeting that 200-day. I'm still a big believer in this one. I have it in the core portfolio, but it's definitely not a great one. I see. Let me look at. We'll switch back over to Active Trader Pro. NRSN, yep, 8.6 million shares traded. Market's opened up, and it's taken a little leg up. It's traded down to 210, and you're at 225. Still think that, the VWAP's up at 235, so you're trading below that, but just the reaction of it. Definitely on the open, the volume has the momentum. You opened up this candle at 214. If you close above 213, you could have a little rally up here. 213 is where this one closed, and you have to close above it in order to sustain a rally. If you close below 213, there's no chance of it. Morning, Dawson. Let me do the podcast. But yeah, hopefully that gives you an idea of energy and why we're not necessarily in a, Puru, who's a famous trader on Twitter, has been screaming that you've got the XLE, and oil, UCO, and stuff like that, you've got it at 70. Barrels per oil are at 70. And here at the peak, which was, I think, October, November, somewhere. I think it was July of last year, if I'm not mistaken, where oil hit like $120 a barrel. And then all of a sudden you tanked down in September because everybody thought a recession was coming. But while the price of oil didn't go back to 120, it went to maybe about 90. XLE just ran. I mean, energy sector just ran up to its 52-week high. And he's like, hey, the price of oil around November was $3 a gallon. Well, why is XLE so high? And he was asking that question. So, I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. But hopefully the 20 people, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, hit the thumbs up button, share with your friends. Hit the subscribe button because I'm giving you gold. I'm about to take my shirt off. About to take a hit from the vape. Here, let's go to YouTube. You know what? I enjoy this so much. I want to see what's live now. We're going to go to live. Trades by Matt's good. Here's Trader Talks with them. Peaceful music. I mean, it's all music and trading. Bloomberg Financial, that's great. I mean, they're quality. There's trading. There's music for work. Jackson Hole. That's a webcam. Raccoon. Saloon living room. Oh my God, this is awesome. There's only 36 people watching this. I'm going to be 37. Oh my freaking God. Raccoon Saloon. Okay, where the fuck are the raccoons? Give me raccoons. They have a slide. Let's see. This live stream has been going on since Christmas Eve. What? Is this an actual play? Not to speak down on decor, but is that a Jack Daniel's whiskey bottle? And a sheet? I mean, that TV is from 1962. It's definitely before the year 2000. Come on, 2000. And up here in the right, it looks like the fireplace either has fallen or been taken down. I don't know what the hell. 12 raccoons have taken over an abandoned house for the winter months and get fed in the living room every other day versus daily so they don't get too fluffy. Most of the raccoons in the house are kits from earlier this year and get along well. Nobody lives in the house. So nobody lives in the house. Hold on. We got to go check this out. I got to go look at this. Because these raccoons are somewhere else. Okay, we're going down a hole here. Where the fuck are the raccoons? Oh, I think I see them. They're in the woodshed. Started streaming on December 24th. Oh, they're not in the woodshed. They were in the woodshed. Dude, this place has multiple live cameras. Okay. 37. Yeah, and there's 19. I have fewer people watching me than an empty room. There's more people watching an empty room. Andrew Tate's headquarters. Oh my God. Dude, this is amazing. Oh, and look, they have highlights. How can you not? Okay? This is what I want you to do with my channel. go to the right and hit subscribe. I mean, this is the content you want here. Let's watch a raccoon drop down from the ceiling. This has got to be. Oh my God. Look at that. This room was so much better, more well decorated before. Here he comes. Here he comes down the slide. He's going to fall down. Here he comes. Look at him. Oh, he didn't fall down. He freaking climbed down. I need my Monster Energy hit. Oh my God, this is awesome. Raccoon peeks at me in the playroom. How can you not subscribe to this? Guys, I have no idea how you can't subscribe to this. It's awesome. We're going to go back to live. I can't believe the crap that you find. Oh, here's our vape dude. I think this is our vape dude. Let's see. Looks like SSR and SPF.
On illegal activity. I have not heard anything.
This guy's got 300 people watching.
But we'll see.
He's got the rape van. This is the van that he basically picks people up in. He's looking at AMC and Ape. I mean, honest to God, AMC and Ape. I need a freaking raccoon. That's what I need. I do need a raccoon. I love raccoons. You know what? Let's go back and look at Ape and swinging raccoon. Oh, he grabs on the ball. Whoa. I'm watching it, but I'm not clicking on it because my entire algorithm is going to be so messed up. It's going to be all raccoons. You own AMC and Ape. This is part of the reason you can't join. You will never join Long Angle VRO because you own AMC and Ape. Now I will tell you. Remember I talked about the button hook, 414. So my algorithm, honest to God, here's the killer. My algorithm on AMC. Over 1,000 candles, which is 2 years. Remember, 2 candles per day, 500 trading days. So it's about 2 years. 534%. Versus buying and holding, you make 92%. Your average win on AMC is 43%. You win 47% of the time. This is what a hype train is all about. There ain't no way I'm holding this one. And the reason I'm not holding this one is AMC. Let's look at the fundamentals of this one because it's making no money. None whatsoever. This is all a hype train, but it's up 38% year to date. January 1st, January 3rd, you were trading at 414. I think you could have gotten, its low was $3.89 that day. You were trading, but remember I talked about the button hook? It's starting here. It's definitely starting. The MACD, you can see the MACD is kind of just coming over. The RSI is moving downward because it's overbought. I do think this gap here, and I think that was the day that Ape went live. Ape has no, make no mistake about it. Ape has no value. I don't think there's anything, any value in Ape. It's just they released a stock and it's got no actual value. He just called it preferred. Adam Aaron is playing the retail crowd completely. Hey, Devon's up. Google's up. J&J is up. Merck is up. MPLX is up. Coke is up. I should point out, Coke was at 66. And Coke does this. Coke dips down to 55 and then goes above the 200-day again. I think you're going to get Coke at 56. If Coke gets under, I would say 58. Put a trigger if you have Trendspider. Put a trigger in there, and if it hits 58, I'd start adding to it. And Coke isn't a bad long play. Remember, this is a Warren Buffett long-term play. I do want to point out, we talked about mRNA, Moderna yesterday, and I said the reaction is going to be overwhelming, and it's going to come back down to 64. It's back down at 194. I think you're going to cover this gap back down to 165. I think you're going to cross that 200-day at some point in time. So, MOASS. Yeah, penny stocks are just... Okay, hold on. You're sucking me in, man. You're sucking me in. I told you it was going to hit $3 today at some point. I do think it will hit $3. Yeah, I mean, you're at 268. You traded up today all the way to 291. VRO, man, put your money where your mouth is. I thought you were... I thought you had balls to the walls on this one. You brought it up. I told you here at about, what did I say, 250? I told you about 250. I said it's going to hit 3. It's going to hit 3. Throw your money in there. Your boy with long angle member, your boy ain't putting money into this one. No way. No freaking way. No way. 21 people in here now. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. I'll hit my vape if you hit that like button. I won't, but again, you're talking to a guy who drives a Tesla, who has just had oatmeal with blueberries in almond milk. So I am more likely to go and put on a sweater vest than I am to go shirtless with a vape. Rules are meant to be broken, dude. Let's go for it. You can brag to all of us when it hits 3. Or you can be like Zephin and when it hits 3, you're like, nah, it'll hit 4. And then it goes back down to 2. I got to restart Active Trader Pro real quick because I'm not getting the... I'm going to save it. And then I think it's going to freaking blow up again when I restart it. I'm going to do the podcast, though. I don't want to be on here at 11 o'clock with you guys again. I just don't get a lot done during the day when I do that. And I love hanging out with you guys, man, but I was listening to this Money with, what's the podcast? Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Your library. Money with Katie show. And she did her last episode, which was yesterday's, the monetization of self, personal brands, and the business of influencing. I listened to it during a 4 or 5 mile walk yesterday. I did yesterday. I didn't run just because it was cold and it was rainy and your boy's a little bitch. Honestly, I am. But I listened to it and I liked it. I liked it a lot. And okay, 262-517. And it talked about your personal brand and how you can 252. How people get burned out as quote unquote creators. And I don't consider myself a creator because I don't create shit. I just do a stock podcast, but how your personal life kind of mixes in with your quote unquote podcast and other kind of life. and how things you get burned out because you're always thinking about stuff. I do try and make sure that I have that separation. UVixie is the VIX is up 4%. Yeah, UVixie is gonna go nuts. UVixie had to break out. I mean, the VIX is at 21. It was at 19. Let's do a 2-day. I'm waiting for this I should show you. I'm waiting for this damn thing to show up. Some reason my Active Trader Pro doesn't like UBS. There it is. Bed Bath Beyond at 381. Tesla down at 127. tqqq is under 20. I wouldn't buy it right now. Because it's just, you look at it like a 5-day. It's definitely got that hook, and it's on the downside of this kind of thing. Yesterday was just a bad day. Even if you look at like a 10-day, and this moves to a 15-minute chart. It's had its run. It's under the 200-day now. I don't consider anything to necessarily be bringing it back. If we go over here to Trendspider, and I just look up, I'm not going to look up tqqq because I want to look up QQQ. And remember the difference. If you're investing, invest in QQQ. If you're trading, trade tqqq. I mean, honestly, I'm go big or go home kind of thing. But don't let tqqq sit in your portfolio for a very long time, because it will lose you money. Make no mistake or bones about it. See that in QQQ? We got that button hook up here. You bought in at 263. You're at 275 right now. Most likely, I would have said, hey, sell at 280, because that's about where the 200-day is, and take your profit. I mean, don't be ashamed to take a good amount of profit right there. Even if you're trading options, I think a lot of you guys trade options around stuff that I say too. And so trade some options. But yeah, this is why I think tqqq isn't a buy right now. If you wanted to buy one or the other, it's sqqq, because I do think that you probably have this button hook and probably 263. And if we look at sqqq here, in the algorithm, you have the button hook right there. You don't have a buy signal, but this one moves so fast that I just don't think that you could use the algorithm to actually trade this. And this is why. Remember how I say in a bull market, the algorithm underperforms, but in a bear market, it overperforms? These kind of triple levered ETFs are tricky because they move so fast that the algorithm on a 4-hour candle can't adjust. And the results kind of speak for themselves. Performance chart. If you use the algorithm over 1,000 candles, you have 34 positions that it makes you take. 24% are wins. Your average win is 16%. So your average win, you do win a lot. But you lose 76% of the time, and your average loss is 6.27%. Therefore, the performance of the algorithm loses you 39%, versus if you just bought and held, you'd lose 30%. And remember, these are decaying assets. This is a triple levered ETF. It will absolutely 100% lose money and then reverse split just to keep it. So, switch it to 2-hour on sqqq. So in Trendspider, if you switch my algorithm to a 2-hour, I don't think that it gets you anything. And the reason I say that is the MACD cross up, which is the part of the entry portion, it will help. And it definitely gets you in. But I think you really want to use, for something like this, I would use Ichiban clouds, and I'll work on it. I've been trying to work on an algorithm for quote unquote day trading or the triple levered ETFs. I just haven't gotten it. But you can see sqqq. I mean, on the 4 hour, that MACD is about to cross up. And the last time it crossed up down here, you basically had to cross up at 47, but then you ran down. I mean, you didn't really move up until you really got this cross up here, which was 49. Now, you could buy down here at 48 and wait for it to get to 55, which is a nice just above 10% move. In fact, I might do that. You know what? We're going to do that. I'm trading sqqq because I don't think we're heading into, and I'm doing it in my Webull account. F you people. I'm doing it in Webull. Wow. So 111, I reached $100 in profit. 112, I reached $100 profit in a single trade. I like Webull, man. Let's see. We're going to buy sqqq. We're doing live trading here. And I have to get rid of this. We're going to push that over there. How do I do this again? Webull, man. Watch list. I don't want to watch this. I want to look this up. sqqq. I should trade options on this. Let me go back over to Active Trader Pro. And I know this is going to talk me out of doing this. sqqq. But I'm just going to do it with a little bit of money. We're not breaking the bank here. We're not taking my car payment, which I have none of. So you're under, you know what? I'm going to put in an order for sqqq. I want a 5-minute chart. Today, I don't care about yesterday. I'm going to put an order in. VWAP's at 48.40. It's coming down. I think I'm going to put 47.99. Trade. Limit. I'm going to say 48.05. No, that's too low. I think I'll put 48.10. And I will buy 5. Next. I think I'm going to put 48.20. I'm not going to chase it, but we'll do that. 48.20. 48.25 shares. So, again, I have $1,000 in that account. In my mind, I'm not doing a day trade, but 48.20. I will probably sell if it gets to, I want to say 46. I'll kind of do the math in my head. Hold on, I'm going to mute this. I will sell at 43. So that's a 10% loss. Be $20. But we're live trading. And I did it on Webull, so I think my plus side would be around 52. Would be a nice 10% gain. $20 either way. I'll take $20. But yeah, so that's kind of how you look at it. That's the way, you guys, for you guys, I just did a live trade, just the way I do it. See the button hook right there? I'm kind of looking for it to go above the 200-day. I'm looking for this 52, 53 kind of thing. If I don't hit it today, I'm not upset. But there is so much bad news in this market, I can't imagine that it's good. I'll say that I bought sqqq at 48.20. Okay. And I don't think it'll hit, actually. We just plopped up. Oh, well. At some point today, if it hits, great. If it doesn't, oh, well. Okay, I'm going to start the podcast. And I'm ignoring you people. Good morning. It is Thursday, January 19th, and it is 10 o'clock. And I just traded live on Webull using YouTube Live as kind of my sounding platform. And I went through my trading strategy of, and this is a short-term trade. And I was talking about button hooks. And for you guys that don't know, button hooks are in Trendspider. In my algorithm on 4-hour candles, I look at button hooks, and button hooks are kind of, you can think of it on the bottom as a fish hook in the moving averages. On the top, it looks like a cane handle. And these button hooks kind of help me understand where you're moving to, where you're moving from, momentum, blah, blah, blah. So the stock that I traded was sqqq. This is a triple levered short on the Qs. It does not mean I'm investing in Qs. It does not mean that I actually own anything. This is a triple levered ETF that just trades options in order to basically mimic 3 times what the QQQ will do. When QQQ goes down, sqqq will go up. So that's why I traded this one. I just don't see a lot of good news in the market. I see a lot of bad news in the market. One of the things that we'll talk about in a little bit is Netflix earnings. I think that's where I could get killed. But I identified the downside as 10%. And so if I lose 10%, and it was a super small trade, I think it's like $200. And I didn't Webull because I like the fireworks that come up. Honest to God, I really do. But I did it in Webull in the $1,000 account that I'm currently trading that's up at, I think, about $1,200. I think I'm up 20% the year to date. And I'm doing that $1,000, so I'll take that $1,000 at some point and probably donate the gains to a charity. It's not going to be much. I mean, hopefully by the end of the year, maybe I'm at $2,000. It is super, super risky trading. It's not something that I would suggest you take rent money in doing. But $1,000 for me is in there. I'm going to donate it. If I lose the $1,000, it doesn't change my life. I'm not upset about it. But if you'd like to do it, do it with me. I would say, put $1,000 into Fidelity because the news is I just got my gift card from Fidelity. So if you sign up for Fidelity, send me your email address. If you put $2,500 in, I think I can get you $100 in a gift card. They send me money for referring you as well. But just send me your email address. You'll have to hook up with the socials. But back to Trendspider and why I did this. Trendspider put out a new video about the strategy tester, and that's where my algorithm lives, in the strategy tester. So if you want to look at it, go to Trendspider's YouTube page, and Dan Ushman, who's the CEO of Trendspider, he has his own algorithm that he uses, and he shows it to you on the screen. So, and he shows you how to optimize your algorithm. I have not optimized my algorithm. I use my algorithm as a guide, and I just went through it with sqqq. So if you want to see it, start tuning into YouTube Live or go watch the video where you can look at the transcript and just look for sqqq in the transcript. I learned how to do that the other night. It's a fantastic tool on YouTube. I absolutely love it. But let's talk about SPY, where we're going, why I think the short in the market is the right play, and where you might be able to look at opportunities. We talk about SPXU, which is the bear on the triple levered bear on the S&P. And when you look at, if you're looking at my screen right now, let me just make sure I'm on Trendspider. Yep. If you're looking at my screen right now on YouTube, you can see the button hook. It's the cane handle that I'm talking about. Now, the algorithm hasn't gotten you out because the algorithm exit has some moving average components to it. So it hasn't gotten you out completely, but that button hook is there. And I'm worried that we're going down below the 200-day. And this is specific to the S&P. I'll look at the Qs in a little bit. But see how the MACD is crossing down. See how the RSI is going down. All of the indicators that I looked at indicate to me that we're going down. There's 3 red candles on the volume right there. It indicates to me that we've just had this run all the way up from about 380 to all the way to 4,000. We rejected 4,000. We're above the 200-day. I think you have to go below the 200-day again. So that's why I bought the sqqq, because typically the NASDAQ will kind of follow as well. The one thing that could dethrone this is today Netflix is earnings. And there's 3 things that Netflix will focus on as far as their earnings, and that Wall Street will focus on. And I think typically in Netflix, I have made, I think it's 3 or 4 earnings plays where I bought right before the bell with Netflix, depending on the momentum, and it was 3 times where the momentum was up slightly in the last half hour, and so I bought right at the close. Then the earnings were announced, and I put in a standing order to sell at a 10% up price. I didn't put a sell order at 10% below, but a 10% up price. Because my feeling is any reaction in the market is an overreaction. Now, Netflix, as far as their stock goes, you can take a look at the algorithm here, and the algorithm has had you in since 290, and you're at 319. You've had all of these all the way from 180. You've had a bunch of winners, a bunch of losers. You've had a couple of winners at 17%, at 11%. You lost 5%, you lost 6%. The algorithm does not do great on this one. It just doesn't. And it's because Netflix has been a losing stock over 1,000 candles. If you just bought and held, you've lost 44%. The algorithm loses you 41%. So it's not great. 35 positions over those 1,000 candles, 20% with losers. Your average win is 10%. So you want to get in at those 10%. Now, here's what I've learned about earnings. This one gets popped just based on some headlines. And it gets popped either way. The options market, I saw last night, the options market is implying that it's going to move 10%, but the options market doesn't tell you which 10%. Now, here's the danger of it. The MACD is crossing down. We've had a good run up into these earnings. Typically on this one, I don't know that I've necessarily, would do it. The last earnings, July, I think I might have played this one for a 10% pop. It might have been October that I played it for a 10% pop. But a couple of other earnings, I didn't play it. Definitely this earnings, I didn't play it. But I've just done this several times. The 3 things that Wall Street's looking for is a crackdown on passwords. So when they release their earnings kind of description, if an algorithm goes through there and says they mention passwords, boom, it's going to pop that thing up. The ad tier, that's going to pop it up as well. The algorithms are going to trade this within 30 seconds of that being released, faster than you can read it, and it's going to make it move. The other thing that they're going to be looking at is subgrowth. And I think specifically subgrowth and ad tier will be huge. But remember, it's been said before that for every paid customer, there's 4 other non-paid customers who are sharing. So all Netflix has to do is get one of the 4 other people to actually pay, and they've got a 20% growth in actual users. So there's some focus on that has been said. I might play this one. I will let you know on Twitter, on Facebook. I will let you know what I'm thinking. But that's just one thing that I'm thinking could take the sqqq trade down. And I think I'm close to actually confirming at 48.20 on that one right now. But I wanted to take a look at SPY. I wanted to take a look at the QQQ. I wanted to, and they're all kind of trending. They've had a good run. And Kramer last night was in a ref outfit with a football. That identifies the end of any run that you're talking about. So I just don't, again, his clown thing, it just bothers me. But a couple that you could look at, Blackstone, BX, it should have a lot of volatility ahead. I would not buy this one right now, but you can see it's in a downward trend. Now, Blackstone has some great, fantastic financials in it. The problem that you have is that people have been pulling their money out. So Blackstone, when we look at it, the B REIT has been in the news. Their PE is 23, super expensive. Dividend is 5.88%. They're up 13% year to date. 1 year performance, they're down 27%. They are 41% below their 52-week high of 138. They are only 13% above their 52-week low of 71. So you're trading about 81. And the reason why I bring this one up is they have their earnings coming out on January 25th. You've got a MACD cross down. There has been an enormous amount of volatility around this for a few years. The algorithm actually does better. 40% the algorithm gets you versus the actual buying and holding, 29%. So you have 23 positions. You win 52% of the time. Your average win is 8.29%. Right now you're in at 74.50. But it's trading at 81. Remember I talked about how the cane handle at the top, you have that. So it's getting out right before earnings. Now, if I look at the past couple of earnings, it's kind of run up into earnings. So this one getting out right before earnings, I think they're going to have some problems with their REIT. You can do your research on that one on FinViz. It's just past their ex-dividend date. The RSI is coming down. It's at 50. The MACD is crossing down. But I like the volatility in this one. I think if you can buy this one in the 70s, I think you're fine. Again, I think from a real estate standpoint, I think you're fine with this one. I think they'll do a good job. I don't think they're going to see a ton of runs on this one. But I think you can get down to those 70s. And when you get down to those 70s, you start looking at this one. And specifically before those earnings next week. If we hit 74 again before those earnings and something's going on, I kind of like this one to pop because I think they'll have some type of good earnings research. Google. I wanted to bring up Google, Meta, and Amazon specifically because I think these are the three of the FANG names that you could buy right now. Even though the algorithm, you might have a cane handle on this one. I think Google, just look at the PE on this one. It's at 17. Year to date, it's only up 3.44%. Performance for 1 year, you're down 35%. It hasn't been good. I don't think we're going into an ad spend recession where things will just get cut. If we do, this one will get hurt. But I still think that Google has good things. And I think at that PE, I think you'll be fine. I like anything under 90. It's trading at 92 right now, but I like anything under 90. So that's Google. Meta, on the other hand, has had a superb run. The algorithm got you in at 95 in November 8th. It got you out with a 22% gain on December 28th, but it got you right back in at 118, and you're at 134 right now. You're kind of having that handle. It's up at the at just over the 200-day, but I think you've got this gap here at 321 to 242. I do not think that gap is in the current run, but I do think the 158 to 165 gap is in this run. And I think you're going to have some settling down. The 200-day is coming up on the 50-day. The golden cross should happen here probably in the next week or so. And you have their earnings coming out February 1st. that February 1st is a key day because you do have earnings for Facebook. You have the Fed meeting. I think that could be a catalyst for the market. And I think specifically for Meta, it might be a good thing because Mark Zuckerberg may make some big announcement about the metaverse and the spending. If that spending is down significantly, look for this stock to hit that 150 gap. And I like it there. Wolf Research, I tried to do this on the alpha list. I'm not going to go over everything, but there were 5 specific stocks that they say for 2023 are good. Visa, Meta, RF, which is Regions Financial, Lennar, and DR Horton, DHI. Lennar is LEN. Look at those 3 stocks. I'll look at their stuff on YouTube Live, but I won't go over here on the podcast just because I have other things that I want to go over. UNH. I went over. UNH is a core portfolio holding that I have up there, and it's been in a slide. It got you out yesterday with a slight loss. I am still in on this. I have it at 485. Today it's trading at 483. It was down earlier in the day, down to the 470s. The MACD is crossing up again. I will probably add to this one. I like this, and I've said this, anything under 500, I like it. The problem is it is super, super expensive. You're paying for this one. And I think it's James that likes Cigna over UNH. The PE on UNH is 23. The forward PE is 16. They're probably going to bring their earnings down. They did, and that's why you're seeing it slip over the past after the earnings. You're seeing it slip, but it's still a mainstay. I'm in long term. I might add to this one. But if you look at Cigna is another good one, and their PE is only 14, and their forward PE is 12. Year to date, Cigna is down 6.94%. Year to date, UNH is down 10%. So Cigna is outperforming UNH, and I think you could probably play these two against each other, to be honest. But if you want exposure to healthcare, I think if you want a short-term trade, I think Cigna is probably the better bet. If you want a long-term trade, I think UNH is probably your better bet. And you can see the chart here on Cigna. It's kind of using that 200-day right as support level. UNH is below the 200-day, so I think UNH might have a little bit of a kind of squelch, to a cooling off period to go. One of the things that I was looking at was Walmart. Walmart, if you remember, they shot up on their earnings, and it was because they've kind of gotten their stuff under control. There has been a huge amount of MACD activity, cross up, cross down, since then. This one traded up after their earnings all the way to about 155 or so, 153, 155. It's down at 141, down at the 200-day. I'm not thinking that the 200-day, it goes below the 200-day again. But if you wanted to add to your Walmart, I think this is a good time, even though the algorithm has you out of this. And the MACD is trending down, and the RSI is down at 36. It's kind of in no man's land. But I think at 140, you can add to this one. And this is a long-term play. I'm not saying trade this one. Walmart and Target are both long-term plays. Walmart has just come down to the 200-day. Target is using its 200-day to kind of go over and above, and you got some messy gaps here. I don't think 150, anything in the with the 1.5 handle, I think at Target is a great price. I think 1.4 handle is a fantastic price. But I think both of those for long term should be in your portfolio. Alcoa, I think I brought up Alcoa before. Their earnings were just a disaster. And you're actually seeing it. They lost 70 cents per share. The MACD is super high up. The RSI is super high up. At 52, I would expect it to come back down to 46, 45, somewhere in that neighborhood. They said costs are increasing. Essential as that. It was super, super bad, just so you know. One of my favorite trades that I did that didn't really work out, but it's interesting now, is Fannie Mae. And the symbol is SF, Frank, New, Man, Apple, FNMA. This one I've traded before, and it was during the housing crisis, and you could make a ton of money on this one. This one dipped down, and I didn't see it, but there was a huge gap here up between the 200-day and the 50-day. And it's coming up where the 50-day is actually turning a little bit positive, and it's up over the 200-day at 50 cents. I'm not saying trade it now because I think the RSI is just too high at 70. The MACD is up there. But do your research on this one. It's never going to go bankrupt because the Congress can't get themselves together to basically back this one. But Vanguard-based mortgage securities, But it's trading up there. Do your research. It caught my eye yesterday on my watch list, and I said, ooh, we could have bought this one at 42, and it's up at 50 right now. So it's an interesting one. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon's one that I wanted to bring up because it has been on an absolute tear. And I talk about the cane handle. It's got the cane handle. It's pulling back a little bit. The RSI is at 58, and that MACD is crossing down. So their earnings are coming up February 2nd, just like Apple, just like most of the other ones. Next week is big tech earnings. They probably will have to bring down their forward guidance. And that's kind of the assumption. Apple, I think most of the bad news is priced into Apple. I think Amazon, if they start laying people off, if they announce layoffs, if they announce a reduction in their costs, I think Andy Jassy is going to see a pretty good stock move in this one. I would expect this, again, I think Amazon at 94. If I look at Amazon's PE and FinViz, they're at 88, which is big. The forward is 59, so it is still expensive. But I don't, at 81, this was a crazy good buy. At 94, it's a decent buy. I think anything under 90, I think you scoop this one up before earnings. Doesn't mean that it can't go to 70, but remember what I say about a lot of these. I don't mind holding these because their growth is going to be so explosive. And again, Amazon Web Services is just killing it. Take a look at the price targets on this. MKM Partners buy 145. They brought their price target down to 125. January 4th, New Street said 130. Are you upset if you bought this at 94 and it goes down to 85, but then it winds up hitting 130 in the next year? No. Don't put money in there that you're paying rent for. You might not be optimizing your money, but it's one of those stocks that you can buy and most likely just feel comfortable that at some point in time this thing turns around. And that's kind of where I'm pointing you. You want to take some risks. You want to do sqqq every now and then. But you also want a portion of your portfolio that you can buy and just feel comfortable that it, even though it loses 5, 10, 15%, I was down, 28% last year, 27% in my overall portfolio. But I'm not using it to pay rent. What am I going to do? Trade my entire portfolio in and out every couple of months? What am I going to do? Get out in cash? Go and look up Google. If you were out of the market for 20 days over the last 20 years, I think the return turns from like 400% down to like 40%. It's a huge, huge difference, and you can't time the market. So I wanted to bring up that. Let me look. I will put together the bull and bear triple levered ETFs that I typically use. I did look at DRN and DRV yesterday. We talked about how DRV may have a pretty good buy-in. Let's see if DRV came up. It hasn't crossed up, but it probably will cross up today. It's got a red candle. It opened up at 45.82. It's trading right now at 44.79. But DRV is probably not a bad play at this point. This is the bear, 3 times bear on the real estate market. But the real estate market has been hot. DRN has been going up. DRN had a buy-in at $10, and you're at $11.48. You could have sold out here at $12 for a nice 20% gain. So it's had a run-up. And if you look at DRV, which is the bear in this market, it's down there. It's got the MACD crossing up. The RSI is down at 41 in no man's land. But if it closes above 44, right about where it is, 44.66, I think is where the 9-day. If it closes up on the morning candle on that one, I may put some money into that one as well. So there's some ideas for you. There's one that we were day trading as well on the Facebook Live. NRSN, it's kind of given up its thing. UVIXI, we talked about UVIXI. The VIX is up 4% at 2120. UVIXI is up 3% just because the futures just don't follow the actual VIX on UVIXI. But UVIXI is up 2.3% at 590. The VIX at 21, I do think that the VIX wants to get to 30. It just hasn't. We talked about SOXS is one of these things. I think the chips have had a super run. SOXS is the bear, 3 times bear on the chip sector. I think that's one you can look at. TSLQ, which does the inverse of Tesla. I think that's one you can look at. Tesla is down just a little under 1% today, I think. Let me see. Yeah, it's 0.64%. But you've got, Bed Bath & Beyond. We talked about short squeeze on Bed Bath & Beyond. Should you invest in this one? Bed Bath & Beyond, the news yesterday was they're looking for a sale. Well, it looks like people are actually selling the stock because the stock has kind of lost all of its momentum. Down at 376. This was a good trade for me. I got out probably a day earlier than I should have, but I'm not upset. Again, I made some money on this one. Mara, we talked about some of the crypto stuff that you can invest in, BITO. Mara is one. It's a crypto miner. You can invest in that one. I think NVIDIA has had its run. Talked about mRNA, which I said any reaction in the market is an overreaction. This one was way up yesterday and then just kind of pulled back, and it's pulling back slowly. I think you cover this gap down here at 167 at some point in time. I don't think you can be upset if you add it under 200 because at some point in time during the next year, it's over 200. Again, this is just one that will be huge just because of the technology. They have earnings coming up February 22nd. I would expect this one to cross down a little bit on the MACD and just kind of move more towards 158, which is where the 200-day is. But yeah, if you made it this far, rate the podcast, hit the 5 stars up there. If you go to YouTube, by the way, if you go to YouTube, just hit subscribe. Please do that for me. That's the big thing. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers just, so I can vape, take my shirt off, joke with all the people on there about all the lives. By the way, if you were on and watching YouTube Live with me, you saw we were watching raccoons today. It was fantastic. Do I still have the live raccoons up there? No. It's a raccoon saloon. It's interesting. Yeah, we were watching raccoons. I couldn't believe. I think that it's an abandoned house that has like 5 or 6 webcams on it, and you can watch raccoons play in an abandoned house. So I didn't know it was abandoned when I first looked at it. And like, who would live here? But it's an abandoned house. By the way, Qualcomm is down 3.5%. This has had quite a run up from 107. You're at 117 right now. You were trading at about 125 just a couple days ago. So it's had its run. MACD is crossing over. SOXS, this is one of those chip makers that's in SOXS. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Hit the subscribe button, rate it, do whatever you need to do under a half hour today. I will have a recap tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday recap. If you have subscribed to Trendspider and have any questions, next week I will be doing a tutorial with them. I'll be recording it. So with one of their folks, and so I'll put that up on my YouTube channel, and I will release that as a podcast as well, so you can listen to that. I'll make sure if you're not interested in listening to two guys talk about how Trendspider and charts and stuff work and how the algorithm works, things of that sort. you don't have to listen to it. But I'll make sure to mark it as an appropriate listen, optional listen for you if you just listen to me. If you're listening to me just for stock picks, rule number 1, don't listen to a guy on the internet for stock picks. But yeah, hit me up. Sign up. The link down below for Trendspider, 25% off. DSP25 is the code. I'll give you my algorithm. I'll give you access to the core portfolio list, the Vanguard ETF list, the Spider sector list, the yet to be completed energy list, and the triple levered ETFs that we constantly trade. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Let's just check sqqq real quick. Did I hit the 48.20 buy? It's at 48.68. So maybe I did. I don't know if I did. Yeah, I did. So I got in at 48.20. We're at 48.67 right now. I think you're going to wind up today down. I think the news tomorrow, who knows? But we don't buy, we don't sell on a Friday. Unless you get out of, I will probably be holding sqqq over the weekend. I will, break my rule for this one just because I do think that it's got some momentum on it. But remember, it's money that I don't mind losing. And I've got my stop down there at 43, I think it is, for a 10% loss. So worst I can lose is 10%. Most I will gain is 10%. I probably should stop it at 5% and risk 5% to gain 10%, but I'm willing to hold that one over the weekend, and if it goes under 10%, then I'll probably just dump it. And I can buy tqqq, because my thought is tqqq is trading at 18.92 right now. It's under 20, but I think that gets down to 15 or 16. I pick that up, and then I wait for it to get over 20, because at some point in time this year, it'll be over 20 again. So that's my plan on that one. And the $1,000 account in Webull, I think it's up to $1,200 now. So I'm up 20% year to date. It's just small trades that I'm doing. I'm not doing anything different than you guys should be doing. If you don't have $1,000 to lose, do not trade $1,000. But if you have $1,000 to lose, join me. I'm going to donate the proceeds to some nonprofit. We'll see what happens. Okay, take care. Have a great Thursday. Okay, done. Export song to disk. Let's see what you degenerates were talking about. I couldn't find FNMA either. You know what's weird? I think they might have been bought or something. Let me find FNMA. Let's see, news. The Motley Fool, why they soared today. Shares of Fannie Mae were rocketing higher overall. Exposure to volumes of mortgages made in the U.S. is perhaps no surprise that both companies have seen their share prices plummet over the past year. However, a major home builder's sentiment report today offered a ray of hope. They're still under government conservatorship. They are. Interesting. So I couldn't find it in FinViz. I think it's because it's under government conservatorship. But you can see, let me see if I can find it here in Active Trader Pro. Let's see. Maybe they restrict trading on it. No. See, I got it here. So it doesn't trade after hours. It's definitely small, but you can see the 10-day volume is 2.86 versus 1.9. Yeah. And it's a micro cap. I traded this one before. I held it. In fact, I was part of the lawsuit against the government, holding on to this shit. So essentially, long story short, Fannie Mae used to pay a dividend, and the dividend was paid out to shareholders. When it got bailed out by the Obama administration, the Fed basically put billions of dollars into it. I think it was 500 billion. You can read up on it or something, but it was 500 billion, something like that. Then a few years later, and I think that was 2008, a few years later, I think it was around 2009, late 2009, Bill Ackman got involved, and he started a shareholder lawsuit because the Fed isn't supposed to own an asset that earns money. That's against Fed policy, and that's what essentially the Fed was not meant to do. The government's not supposed to be in the mortgage business. So when they took over Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they basically said these stocks will not pay a dividend. It will pay it to the Fed. And Ackman said, bullshit. You guys are taking profits out of the private market and funneling it back into your balance sheet. That's illegal. And the court said, F you, Bill Ackman. We're going to let Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac do it. So by the time, I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 or 3 years, but when the lawsuit was done, the 500 million or billion that the Fed had put in there had turned to like 1.4 trillion that they had gotten back. So they made quite a bit, and there was no hope of ever getting it out of there. And so when you look at the Fed balance sheet, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they're just money makers. And so the Fed is making a shit ton of money off of them. So, and I didn't see, I need to look. Let me look real quick. I need to see, did I get, find your people. I don't care about that. Let me see Weeble. Oh, I gotta close this. Let's see. Cancel. I did get sqqq. And I'm up 2%. So, okay, let me go back in here. Let me make sure I'm live. There we go. Brittany, man. Brittany's a freaking... She is a train wreck right now. I am going to go to Anchor, and I'm going to post this podcast. Who am I sponsored by today? Somebody on YouTube. You guys should go to Anchor. See who my podcast is sponsored by today. I can do it too, but new episode. Create an episode. Podcast 119. I am going to do a I never think that the podcasts that I think suck, I get comments that they're good. The podcasts that I think are good, I get comments that they suck. Okay, I'm going to put that I'm sponsored by State Farm then. I like that. Okay. I added in a nice long 14-second intro song. It still says State Farm? Hold on. Let me see. Where's my library? There I am. Mine doesn't say anything actually right now. How is it that I'm telling you, there are thousands and thousands of people per month that tune in to this podcast. According to Anchor's website. I know getting people over to different platforms has just been pulling teeth. But to only have 156 people that have hit the 5 stars, you got to be kidding. Now, I'm on Spotify, but I don't see State Farm anymore. Like yesterday, I said, hey, I'm giving you a free screening tool. And I like to tell people, hey, it's free. Do people listen to it? Hell no. I think Tom commented, good podcast. But I think I could do the shittiest podcast in the world, and Tom would go, hey, great episode. He's so nice. Save episode. I gotta go and grab. Episodes. Okay. I'm going to take that. We're going to put this in here. I'll bold that. We're going to take that out. In the U.S., State Farm. Oh, come on. I'm going to bold this. But I focus on, let's see. Carvana, man. Those fuckers are advertising and they're going bankrupt. That's what's crazy. They'll go bankrupt, but okay, SPY, BX, GOG, SQQQ, tqqq. I looked at UNH, Walmart, FNMA, AA, META, Google, Amazon, Netflix. I didn't even go over the scan, TBLA. But I'll put that one in. That's funny, Carvana. Yeah, put in the 5 stars, dude. Man, why am I all sore? 18 people in here. Hit that thumbs up button. If you are listening to me on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. I want to see a record number of thumbs up. I'm going to remember to bring all that up. I kind of like BlackRock, by the way. Notes. Energy. We're going to put Tap the mic, open your windows. I think I probably could scream out the window and reach more people than 17. What am I going to title this one? Okay. SQQQ. Market update 119.23. I need to put 23. And we're going to do that. Publish now. And let's see. Webull update. SQQQ, I'm up 1.27. But my other long terms are down. So overall, I'm up $2 for the day. $1,000 account, so it's up 0.8%. Oh, I'm sorry. Day P&L. I don't know what open P&L versus day P&L. Oh, I guess those are the ones that I traded today. 20th like. I got likes. Hey, I got likes. Webull confuses the fuck out of me. Boomer alert. Where's my ref outfit with a football? Anybody else get in on QQQQ? So let me go up. Can't find FMA and Webull. UNH was down to 478. I got in at 485.2. Yeah, you'll be fine. Don't worry about that. Don't listen to someone on the internet. I didn't get hit at $2. Didn't want to break my rules on trading. No chasing in 20. Do your podcast. I'll hit my vape. I'm not going shortlist. I'm going to shortlist. Uvixi was good. I think Uvixi is trading fine. Yeah, take your profits. Brandon, I went over the 2 hour versus 4 hour, I think, for you. I don't know that my algorithm works as well. Look at the results. I mean, when you change it from a 2 hour to a 4 hour, just look at the results. If the results are better on shorter trading, great. If the results are worse, watch the video that's pinned right now from Trendspider. It will give you a good idea as to what they just enabled as far as the strategy tester goes. Yeah, cat. Here, hold on. Let's go back to. I'll show you what I noticed about cat and the reason I didn't buy cat. The reason I didn't buy cat. And I talk about the cane hooks, the button hooks, the cane hooks, things of that sort. See that? This was Monday, right here. And so the candle on Monday, the afternoon candle was lower than the morning candle. And they were both red. And so I was like, I don't want to get in on the first trade of the year where he loses. And I think this is the first week that he'll lose. And there's other people who got in earlier in the week before, on January 9th. That was around 248. And you've ridden it all the way up and you've ridden it all the way down. Are you going to be upset that you held on to cat at 280? I don't know. I mean, honest to God, I just don't. I think it's a good buy and hold. But, in October, it was trading at 165. And if we pull these, if we pull it back here to 165 and it's low, you can see the volume shelf at between 225 and 240 is kind of where the bulk of your people are at. That's where the bulk of the people bought. There's still a lot of people holding down here, but from this date forward, not too many people are holding right here. So if you break 225, look out below. That would be where I would be concerned. Right here at 240, I ain't concerned. Yeah, and UNH. It's at 485. It's back to where you and I bought it. I mean, you could have gotten it yesterday for 478. Great. But I'm not too worried about it. I don't, if you're looking at your entire portfolio on a daily basis and you're looking at the charts, it'll scare the fuck out of you every day. $4 billion pension fund investment. Yeah. California, Blackstone. Yeah. They limited withdrawals in November, and it was because, remember, Blackstone has most of their money tied up in investments. So they can't let a bunch of people withdraw. So I think they did the right thing. We are on Facebook Live. Who did Facebook Live? I don't see a recession. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't see a long recession. Wow, you got a better price, Mike, than I did. SOXX is great today. Okay. Let me go back here. I think I published I'm going to be right back. Girls, I love you. Okay. Larry! 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 My dogs are up now since I started yelling. Let's see. That's from Impractical Jokers. Great show. And I saw Larry commented, debt ceiling just hit. Brandon, what'd you buy an options contract on? SQQQQ? Oh, I'll go into the Facebook group. I think I can go Facebook group. I have to post on Twitter, but let's go into the Facebook group. I think I get a different view than you guys do. I hate freaking Facebook, though. I'm never on here. Am I the guy with the long hair or the short hair? No, I'm not turning the sound on. I'll get dinged. Dude, you turn on the sound on some of these things, man. Florida is, I'll look at it later. But you know YouTube, they're going to ding me. DRS is on my stock watch list. They provide defense products and technologies. In my non-expert opinion, the last 2 years it has been a steady stock, as it usually between $10 and $13 with some points of higher swings, and only every so often throughout the year dipping into the nines. I was waiting for it to dip back into the nines to buy some. I started watching it in December, but this has yet to happen. Sharing in case people want to add it to their watch list for the possibility of small gains if you can catch it at a dip and it returns to its typical levels. Obviously, you want to know where the environment is before guaranteeing it. Let's look at Jackie's DRS. Let's look at DRS. Let's take a look. Look at DRS. Shit, Jackie. That's a killer. Performance over the last 2 years, algorithm makes you 36%. The buying and holding only makes you 21%. You have 26 positions. You win 35% of the time, but your average win is 12%. It is not me. It is absolutely 100% not me. An ascending triangle, wedge, whatever you want to call it. So that blue line there is what Trendspider thinks it's going to be. I would say here, my guess is that if we just drew a straight line here and said, if it's going to get back up to that line where it was in April, I think it's defense spending, if I read her thing right. Industrials, aerospace, and defense. The PE is 119, and that's at 12. So the earnings per share this year are expected to increase by 295%. 1 year, they're up 39%. Year to date, they're up 3%. Their 52-week high is 16. You're 23% below that. You're 71% above your 52-week low. There's not a lot of coverage on this one, but 7 growth stocks that could grow. There's Neo, Polestar, Transocean, DRS. Defense stocks are likely to remain an attractive investment theme in the coming years. Stocks look to rally off their growth uptrend with a 35% in 6 months. With the merger of Rada Electronic and Leonardo complete, the outlook is bullish. As an overview, Rada Electronic is a provider of tactical radar. Believes the total addressable market for its products and services is around $25 billion. There is ample headroom for growth as defense spending remains highly global. It's also noteworthy that the merged entity has a net debt to adjusted EBITDA of 0.7, which isn't bad. Financial flexibility is high to pursue investment. Shares outstanding, 260 million. Shares floated, 253 million. So they're not holding a lot. I don't think it's a bad one. It's expensive. But They've had 190 million in sales, and they believe that their market could have 25 billion. That would be an enormous increase. So, I mean, you're looking at, this is kind of probably similar to I'll tell what minute are we at on the broadcast here? I can't even see. I'm going to comment back to her. We'll give her this because I can go from here down there. You're looking at 15%. Oh, let me get that out of there. Remove this segment. There we go. We're going to go from here to there. So you're looking at an 18% gain. We'll take that snapshot. DRS is the symbol. And I'll reply once it's posted. And Trendspider. Some research. Today's YouTube live. So check the transcript for DRS. Uh, 140. Okay, what do I have for? I like that one. Tom, an hour ago, AXSM. Please see my prior posts. Depression and Alzheimer's drug. I love this one. As per James' post earlier, biotech is very volatile. Tech addicts, look at the something in the area I was suggested for you as part of my Chinese hypothesis. Tom posts seem pretty great stocks. I've become a fan of ADRX and it is down 15% pre-market. He often thinks post these stocks after a 40% run. It was great, but Tom doesn't take offense, I don't think. The stock moves like Usain Bolt. I like that. Let's look at ARDX. I've looked at this one before. Tom's a doctor, and Tom knows what he's talking about with pharmaceutical stuff. But I think Tom started tweeting me, I think it was December around this one. It had already gapped up, and I wasn't a big fan of this gap sitting right there. And I kind of said, I don't know that I'm whacked about this one. And the MACD looked like it was crossing down, but the price never really came down, and it was at 179, and I wanted it back at 128. It trades crazy. I will tell you, the performance chart is nuts on this one. So here's what you have to look at. Let's look at a weekly. Because where are you at right now? If you went back to 2017 and said, oh, these guys are doing Alzheimer's stuff, they're fantastic. And in 2017, you're trading at 12. And now you're at 2. Looks fantastic? I don't know. I mean, look at this one candle right here. These are weekly candles. This one candle right here, 77% loss in 1 week. You went from $7.42 at the beginning of the week to $1.68 at the end of the week. So when he's talking about volatile, he's talking about volatile. It's not making money. They have some research in there. These are ones that you can gamble. Year to date, it's up 12%. Performance for 1 year, by the way, 248%. It's an interesting one. But would I say, on my podcast, bro, on my podcast, would I tell people, hey, this is a great one? No. I mean, even though you could have tripled, 4 times your money from here in June all the way to here, 4 times your money, your 50 days not even up near your 200 day. Your 200 days at $4. Your 50 days at $1.26. So I just worry about somebody like VRO here. Hey, this looks great, man. I mean, mind you, my algorithm loses you 55% in this. So I don't know that I'd, James, I know you, I think you're still listening. Yeah. Where, just mind you, I like this one. Come on. That's just, son, one day you'll grow up to be a man. Dad, I'm 24, but you sold Bitcoin at 16,000. That's awesome. Come on, bro. That's really good. That was genius right there. Okay. Let's go back to Active Trader Pro. Its high is 291. Hasn't hit. Fannie Mae, this one I think will trend back down to the 20 cents level. I think right here, about probably 44. No, I don't want that one. I want sqqq. We're 49. 48.20 looks like a good buy. Its low was 47.76 today. So, I got to do my Twitter stuff. So I got to put this one up on Twitter. And we're going to copy. And we're going to paste. I post these things on Twitter, but I don't think anybody freaking listens to my podcast off of Twitter. I spend half my time getting rid of the spaces and stuff like that. We're going to put Visa, Meta, RF, Lennar, DHI. Oh, I need to put in UPRO. SPXU, SPXL, TQQ, and we're going to put in QQQ and SARK. SARK is probably doing well today, I would think. And we'll cut. And then we're going to tweet again. Twitter. Bang. I may buy more Walmart, to be honest with you. Walmart looks like it's pulled back a good amount. I don't think I put in Google. Pins. Netflix earnings. I like Netflix earnings. Who likes my strategy of doing that investment thing? Not investment thing, but buying right before and then right after. Let's see. Tesla, GNS, QQQ, and our SN we went over. SOX, I think we're going to do CNCE, UVixy. UVixy pretty well, doing pretty well. NVIDIA. There we go. We'll tweet that. Ooh, my neighbors are back from Cabo. Let's see. Where did this? This is interesting. Somebody liked this tweet. So this is from 2022. So if you do anything tonight, you must watch AVAV and what we're doing to not help the Ukrainians fast enough with drones. This is after Jim Cramer, mind you, last year said Ukrainians should just give up. The Russians are going to overwhelm you. They're going to give up. And so what's AVAV? Let's look at this. Oh, this is the drone company. So let's look at March 2020 when he had them on the show and he touted them let's look at the date. May 2nd. May 2nd. You're selling at $87 a share. I'm sorry. Closed at $91 a share. Okay? The fucker hasn't moved. This is Jim Cramer. Hey, buy it for the club. You paid him $600. He lost you money. You're trading at $82 a share from 91. BTC hodl to the moon, bro. Yeah, the BAC problems. Did you see that, Vero? I saw that on Twitter. The clown. Oh, he wants to know. Let's see. Do companies pay to be on Mad Money? No, I don't want to sign in. I should be able to see it. Oh, I want my ad blocker on, douche. There is. Let's do this. There you go. Geek Sports. Geek Sports like 2 of my tweets. What was I going to do? Oh, Bank of America. Let's see. Lots of reports on Instagram, TikTok, Reddit of problems at Bank of America. Many customers are missing money and not getting answers. The Simpsons always knew. I'm seeing it. Let's see. Commission Junction. Apply here. What are they going to ask me to do? Oh, I have to sign up for Commission Junction. That's what I have to do. eHarmony. Oh, I can pimp you guys out eHarmony. I'm gonna pimp you guys out to eHarmony. Okay, I'm out of here. It's 11:15. I will see you guys tomorrow. I will do a summary show tomorrow. It's nice outside, so I'm going to go running. It's sweet out here. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, you guys, for making it fun. Again, hit the thumbs up button. I don't even know how many people we got in here now. Let's see. 17 people still. Mike, I'm sorry if that's actually true. I am single, never married, no kids, and probably emotionally not very smart, according to ex-girlfriends. But eHarmony, I am not. I have friends who have been on eHarmony and have touted it and said they've definitely met people that are of quality there. But I personally can't say that I've... Now, the free apps, Tinder, Bumble, Facebook has a pretty good one. But they're all filled with a lot of fakes, too. Not unstable, man. Just emotionally probably not intelligent. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the reality of the situation is I'm much more interested in kind of just chatty stuff. Plus, I worked the Miss America pageant. How can you be interested in dating when you work the Miss America pageant? Love the Miss America people. They are so... And by the way, never make fun of those girls, man. Those girls go through hell. It is such a... Whew, and they create such tight-knit group. Okay, I'm rambling. I will see you guys tomorrow with an eHarmony ad. I'm going to say tomorrow my podcast...